Hi, in this video, I'm going to go over how to configure security in external firewall and UTM features on Concerto platform. Let me log in as enterprise administrator. So in the previous video, I have shown how to configure a new tenant, Acme, and then create a configuration profile, West Coast master profile. And in that video, I went over how to create a site, Dallas, and then created an appliance and then published a profile for it. So in this video, I'll edit the same profile, West Coast master profile, to enable security. Okay. Let me click on this and then go to profile and then go to security tab. So here you can, as you can see, there are various security features that you can configure. By default, there are 0 rules in each one of these. Essentially, the access control is next-gen firewall rules. You can configure rules based on the endpoints like zones, IP address groups, uh, and applications, services, URL filtering, um, and you can also schedule rules at specific intervals, and then you can further have actions based on, like, you can pass through one of these antivirus or IP filtering or IPS or URL filtering policies, or you can use predefined policies for each one of those security features inside the access control rules. So let me go and configure a few rules so that you'll see how easy it is to configure security firewall rules on Concerto platform. So we entered here like default access control policy, and within the policy you can add one or more rules. So let me start with creating a new rule called Office 365 as a or 365 the rule, and the match criteria. Click on this, and then you can see here various match criterias. Can be endpoint, application, services, URL category, time interval, or DSCP. Okay, let me pick application here, right? So now, as you can see, Office 365 is a predefined application group we have in our security package. So you don't need to define this any of these applications. So there are almost 3,500 applications or application groups, right? So let me pick these applications, Office 365 apps, and then the action I wanted to do is allow, and I don't want to scan or do any further inspection on this traffic if it is Office 365. If you want to further inspect, pass through other security advanced UTM features, you click on chain, and then you can run the traffic, hitting this rule through the various, advanced security features. So let me just allow this one, and just go next. This is permission tab. When you have various user roles, you can restrict users from, editing this rule or, seeing this rule. This permission is specific to the new rule that we are creating. I'll leave it, leave it to the default values here, and then see here. So we created a new rule, okay? And as you can see, the criteria is application, Office 365 apps group, and the action is allow. Now let me add, one more rule where, like, web emails, I wanted to run through antivirus and then vulnerability profiles like IPS. Okay, let me create another rule here, web email. Let me pick URL category. Yeah, so web-based email here, right? And go to the actions here, chain. When you chain, I wanted to run through antivirus and IPS. So, from the drop down here, policy type that you want to apply further on this traffic, pick antivirus and then scan, web and email traffic, right? Just email traffic I want to scan, right? And let me pick actually a web and email, right? Um, Let me add intrusion prevention, IPS, right? Over here, I wanted to select from these all of these predefined policies come. They come from security package. You don't have to define an IPS policies or the antivirus policies. If you want, yes, you can configure them on top of what you see them as predefined in Concerto portal. If you want to define your own, you can do that. Yeah. So let me pick just Versa branch profile as an example. And I don't. If you want to log, yes, you can log each one of them. Right. You're logging to the analytics flow by flow when you turn it on. Right. So then save it. So we created two rules. Now the next rule that I wanted to create is deny social media. So let's say create deny, right, application here. So select social media predefined application group. In this predefined application group, you'll have all the well-known social media applications, right? And then you want to deny, right? Just click save. Now I wanted to create a default rule, which is allow all, and no match criteria because we want to match rest of the traffic, and send it through all the advanced security features, UTM features. For example, antivirus. I wanted to send it through again scan web and email, and run through IPS, Versa recommended IPS, and run through URL filtering. These are the predefined URL filtering policies. You can say you want to block all adult and ads, right? And then if you want to do URL filtering, sorry, IP filtering, you can select either Versa recommended profile or say block bad traffic. These are the predefined IP filtering profiles. So let's say block bots, right? Um, and if you want to turn on logging, you can select here. Let me save it. This is it. Now you can actually move these rules, up and down, whichever order you wanted to. And then you can also say when you have large number of rules, if dragging and dropping is not helping much, if it is difficult with a large number of rules, you can do move, right? When you click on move, you can specify I want to move this allow all right, to let's say rule number 2, right? You can move it there. See, it moved to position 2. Okay, let me put it back, right? So now this is how you just create, right? So and you can use these antivirus IP filtering, IPS, and URL filtering to define user-defined policies in each one of those security features. But by default, Versa provides predefined policies for each one of these UTM features. Let me save it. Now we are saving the modified master profile called West Coast, and then it has created version 3. You remember we were actually editing version 2 and then created a newer version. Now the system is asking, hey, you wanted to apply this modified version on the appliances that are using previous versions, any of the previous versions of the same name, right? So West Coast must MP. So it says there is one device. Okay, I wanted to apply these changes. Okay, click yes, and then you choose which appliances you wanted to apply on. So since we have only one appliance here, we are applying this V2 to V3. Select that appliance and then apply. right? So now here, now further action, you can take, you applied, you actually, associated the newer version to the appliance. And now if you want to propagate the changes coming from this newer version all the way to the director and then appliance, you can choose it to do it now, or you can choose to do it later. Let's say you want to propagate all the way down to the appliance. Yes, propagate now and select the list of appliances. You may choose if you have like a 10 or 20 appliances, um, where the newer version of the profile is applied. You may choose to propagate it to only subset of them. In this example, right, there is only one appliance, so I choose it and then publish it. So if you skip some appliances from publishing, right, you can do it later by going to the deploy lifecycle. On the deploy lifecycle, you can change the profile anytime. You can publish anytime, right? So here, the changes are published to the the director and the appliance in this case. So if you mouse over here, it shows all the actions that were taken as part of applying this profile all the way to the the Versa director, right? So let's close it. So now if you go to, as you see here, there's a version 3 created, and there are 3 versions of West Coast master profile. Click on that number, you see these various versions, right? Go back by clicking basic here, and then if you go to the deploy lifecycle, you can see here the Dallas site is in current because we actually published. If you did not publish from configuration lifecycle, you would see a gear icon here, white gray icon. Sorry, the orange gray icon, gear icon, and here you would see pending publication, right? But it is in the current state. So as you can see, West Coast MPV3 is applied on one appliance at site. The site name is Dallas, and then on one appliance. So next, I wanted to create a rule which allows, you remember we blocked social media. We can see the actual configuration on this appliance, right? Go to security, and you see all the firewall rules that are applied on this appliance. And you go here, you see all the the rules that we have created. Now I wanted to allow social media during lunch hour. How do I do it? So the way you do it is you go and define a time interval object, right? You go to endpoint and then time interval. So go and create a new time interval. So let's say lunch hour. Right? And you say daily from 12:30 p.m. right to let's say 1:30 p.m. All right. So let me save that. So a time interval object is created here with name lunch hour. Right. Now I go back to the same profile, version 3 now, edit it, click on it, open the profile, go to security, and I want to insert a new rule on top of deny social media, right? To allow the social media, all right? So during the lunch hour. So let me go and add. Right. So you go here and then create and then choose the application, social media. And also I wanted to add a new criteria called time interval. So here you can see the object that we created. So you can create various time intervals, interval objects, and then schedule the rule to valid only during that time interval. All right. So and then you go to action and then permit. Right. So the social media is added at the end of the list. I wanted to move it up right here and save it. Now again, we're going to apply the newer version on this device. Apply it. So now, let's say I don't want to publish, right? So let me do it later. And then if you go to the deploy lifecycle, as I mentioned before, there is a gear icon here, which tells the user that there is action required from the user. It is not in the current state. So the state of the appliance is pending publication, and there is one appliance underneath this site, Dallas. So as you can see here, there is one appliance in state pending publication. So let me publish it and select Dallas device and publish. So you can click on this status bar. Then you can see the progress messages coming here on the of the pop-up, right? If there are any errors, you're going to see those errors on this window.